I'm a big fan of Dr. Berg, so when he mentioned in a recent video that he believed his videos were not showing up in search, I tested the theory because I was curious, and his videos are not showing up in search. But I also noticed that neither are Dr. Ekberg, Dr. Barry, Dr. Sivis, Dr. Fung, or any of the health experts that I originally found teaching about keto. Dr. Westman wasn't there either. So who did I see? I saw mostly people who either had limited experience with keto and were kind of saying, it works, but it's not worth it, or people who were actively saying keto isn't healthy. Now, Dr. Berg pointed out that the reason he felt his videos were no longer showing up was because of this rule about misinformation. And apparently they're defining misinformation as anyone giving any kind of health advice that goes against what the World Health Organization deems as appropriate health advice. And that's the reason I'm making this video today, because I wanted to talk about my frustration that channels are being marginalized because we're talking about how we were able to do keto and lose large amounts of weight. We were able to do keto and solve medical issues. And even channels that are from doctors that are talking about the amazing results that they see in their clinical practice, amazing results that they're seeing in the research that they're reading about and they're sharing it with us, that these doctors are also being marginalized because they're not supporting what the World Health Organization says is a proper diet. Dr. Berg is tapping into something that I think is even bigger than what he spoke about.
Give yourself a test to see if you really believe the things you say you believe, whether they be things about the Bible or things about anything else, things culturally, things political correctness, whatever you want to believe. Give yourself this test. Ask yourself this question about the things you claim to believe. Can you believe it by yourself? I don't need you to believe that Jesus is the Savior. Believe it or don't believe it. That's between you and God. Because if you can believe something, you can believe it all by yourself. And if you have to recruit other people and force them to go along with you, it's because you know it ain't true in the first place.
With the recent news that companies have been paying influencers to get online and talk to us about how safe it is to have aspartame in our diet, and that the World Health Organization and the people talking about what the World Health Organization is talking about, they're crazy. They are fear-mongering, according to these influencers, because safety of aspartame, that's the hashtag that's going around. I want us to understand that the fact that PepsiCo and Coca-Cola, who are represented by American Beverage, who is the one who paid these influencers to talk about aspartame safety, the fact that some of these influencers are paid by the Canadian Sugar Institute, of course, who represent Canadian sugar companies, again, something to worry about. The fact that Carlson Labs, a supplement company, was caught paying off influencers so that they would market to parents with young children a product that the FDA said should not be given to young children, is something to worry about. We have decades worth of evidence that junk food, first of all, causes weight gain. We have decades worth of evidence that high sugar foods lead to weight gain. I'm talking about junk food again. We have evidence that processed foods, again, junk food, lead to weight gain. Somehow, companies can pay influencers to promote junk food, to promote high sugar foods, to promote even aspartame on the heels of the World Health Organization saying it should not be. And we in the keto community are the ones being censored for misinformation. But because everybody eats sugar is the party line, because of course you have to have a dessert every once in a while is the party line, because there's not a person on the planet apparently who'd be able to resist junk food, because that's the party line. These influencers are not silenced, and their channels are still on Instagram, still on TikTok, and yes, I found some of these people on YouTube. Wellness Warrior, I want to point out that videos made by doctors, made by regular people like myself, that talk about how we were able to lose a lot of weight 70 pounds, that talk about how we were able to get off medication, that talk about how we were able to regulate our health issues with food, are seen as misinformation, are seen as leading people on the wrong path, even though we make no money, or no extra money, by saying our story. The only way that I make anything is because you guys watch my videos. But beyond that, I'm not paid by anybody yet. People who are paid by companies to lie are not being censored. There's a huge discrepancy. If you want to promote health and you have nothing to sell, and you're talking about something that's healthier than the mainstream, you're being censored. If you're talking about anything that's holistic and doesn't need medication, you're censored. Do we really believe that this is only the World Health Organization that's pushing this agenda? Why are we not censoring people who are actively paid to say things that's against our better health? We need to be very careful, because if this continues, our young people are being pushed in the wrong direction, because targeting TikTok, targeting Instagram, targeting shorts, and all the different things that they're targeting on YouTube, they're aiming at our young people because they're the next generation of people coming along who will be buying those products, and they're gonna eat them, believing that this is healthy, number one, but they're also gonna teach their children to eat them. If we don't see that that's what they're doing and intervene, the next generation is going to be even more metabolically damaged than we are. If you agree that the lies that say that sugar and aspartame are harmless need to be stopped, you need to share this video. Because if you don't, then these people that are being paid to lie to us will continue to be paid to lie to us, and they are going to convince our young people that there's nothing wrong with eating this way. And that means they will convince the next generation that there's nothing wrong with eating this way. We need to get the good channels back on top, right? Where the channels that are talking about good science and showing what healthy diets can do for you need to be as visible as these other channels that toe the party line. So let's talk about this openly and get the word out. Share the video.